What I remember about the rise of the Empire is how quiet it was. During the waning hours of the Clone Wars, the 501st Legion was discreetly transferred back to Coruscant. It was a silent trip. We all knew what was about to happen, what we're about to do. Did we have any doubts? Any private, traitorous thoughts? Perhaps, but no one said a word. Not on the flight to Coruscant, not when Order 66 came down, and not when we marched into the Jedi Temple. Not a word.
What's up everyone and welcome to the finale for building the Jedi Temple. So over the course of 12 episodes I've been building the mock that you see behind me. This is the attack on the Jedi Temple from Order 66 based off of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005 video game. But yeah, in today's finale I'm going to be adding the finishing touches to the mock and finishing off the areas that I had left unfinished last week, as well as then going through every single detail of the mock, including all the little rooms, all the Easter eggs and every little scene that I've included into the mock. But yeah, if this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like if you do end up enjoying today's video, guys. But without further ado, let's get straight into the finale. I started by going back in and adding in the pieces that I was missing last week. So this is just really small pieces that I was missing before. So I added in some of these one by one dark red tiles here, and then I went ahead and added more dark red tiles into the mock in areas that I was missing them. Obviously there's still a fair few gaps that I've got to fill in, but that'll all be done when the next Bricklink order arrives. I also got that missing wedge plate in my Bricklink order, so I added that onto the side of the statue here. The next thing I worked on is something that I've been putting off for quite a while now, and that is finishing off these big towers that are on the front of the mock. So I just layered them up until they were the correct height that I wanted them to be at. And then I added plates just to give it a flat look on top. But I wasn't quite happy with this, so I decided to go back in and add tiles on top of this, just to give it a really smooth finish and make them really look a bit better. Once that was done, I added some more light bluish grey tiles to the floor and just sort of added in that pillar on the left there. With the remaining pieces that I had left from that Bricklink order, I went to work on the two side areas, trying to get as much done as I could with the remaining pieces that I had. I'll be finishing off these sides once the last Bricklink order arrives. I also noticed that these lines in the floor here weren't quite lined up correctly, so I went ahead and replaced those and fixed that area there. And with that, the mock was complete. With the final Bricklink order, I managed to lay down the final tiles that I needed, and as well as finishing everything off and setting up the minifigures. And so now it is time to show you around the Jedi Temple. And so there it is, the finished Jedi Temple mock. So what better place to start than from the front? So this is the landing platform that we see in the game. You can see I've done like a curved landing platform technique with some trees as well. I think this is really cool and it's definitely accurate to the source material. We'll go through the sort of scenes that I've set up here. You can see there's a Jedi here sort of facing off against a clone. This is going to be a very common theme, but yeah, we've got a clone that's just gunned down a little Jedi there as well, which is very sad. A dead clone in the middle, as well as a load more fight scenes going on here. This is one I personally like, which is the Jedi sort of force pushing a clone trooper off of the edge. I think this was quite a cool little scene that I set up there. Over here we also have a Wookiee being gunned down by a minigun. A few of you guys said that it looks like Ganji from the Clone Wars, and I think it definitely does, so that's pretty awesome. That's definitely going to be him. Then moving back, we have these big pillars here. These have working lights at the bottom there, as you can see, similar to what we actually see in the game. And then there's this sort of circular piece along the front, which I think came out nicely, and I definitely am happy with the way I did these in the end. And there is a look from the other side. You can see there's a few different scenes set up at the front here. And there's a look at the Jedi being gunned down and the towers up here. I think they came out quite cool. I'm really happy with the way they look, and they took a lot more bricks than I anticipated. This is how you turn the lights on here, so I've got them added into the wall here, which I think is pretty cool. You'll notice you can see through these alleyways into the center of the mock, and I think that turns out quite cool. It's quite a cool shot. Looking back there, we have a Jedi impaling a clone trooper, Jedi Temple Guard running out, and a few other details in these little alleyways. We then move back past those pillars into the main area of the Jedi Temple. So this is the sort of courtyard area with these two raised sections on either side, and then rooms in either side as well. I'll go through the rooms in just a second, but I'm going to start by going through everything that's on the top and the front of the mock here. And there are the towers from the backside. You can see there are these big sort of Jedi on the back. These are big statues. I'm really glad I added these sort of 3D details onto the back of the towers. Otherwise it would have just been sort of like a flat wall. They all have lightsabers and I think they look really, really sick. And I'm glad I added them into the mock in the end. Down here, this clone trooper is just getting stabbed in the back by a Jedi sort of as he runs away. And this gives a nice shot of the width of the mock here. You can see right through to the other side. Up above we have one Jedi being completely overwhelmed by clone troopers and getting shot off the side of the balcony. This leads us on to the first mini Easter egg of the mock. So a lot of people suggested this, but we see these clones disguised as Jedi in the temple during Order 66, and they used it to sort of infiltrate and kill even more Jedi. So I thought that was a cool little thing to add in here. And then across to the side we have loads more Jedi over here defending and sort of fighting for their lives against these clone troopers. On this side we have a Padawan, they're sort of the same race as Coleman Trevor, I'm not sure what species that is, but and then we have a Twi'lek Jedi as well. You'll see this courtyard area in the middle is a little bit more empty, but I think it looks pretty cool nonetheless. We've got some different markings and designs on the floor, as well as clones sort of closing down some stuff. I'll show you what's under here in a second, as well as all this side in a second. But you can see over there is a quite cool detail. We have this Jedi hiding behind the pillar, which I'll give you a better look at again in just a second. But and the clone troopers are looking for him, and this sort of commander over here is pointing and directing this clone trooper on where to go. And then just behind that clone trooper we have the sort of wrecked area. So you'll notice this actually just came from this rocket launcher up here. This guy with the rocket launcher, he has just blown a hole in the floor. Obviously probably aiming at some Jedi or something. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think I'm glad I added that into the mock. It's sort of a bit of battle damage, that sort of thing. And behind that we have the staircase. This is one of the last things I built, and I think it is one of the cleanest parts of the mock in general. I went for a kind of smooth look to the stairs and added these railings and then statues on the sides here. This isn't exactly accurate to what we saw in the game, but I thought I'd take a bit of creative liberty here and add those in at the back. And there's this Jedi here sort of defending himself against some of these clones, maybe deflecting some blaster bolts back into these clone troopers over here. And I think this staircase is one of my favourite parts of the mock, as I said, but yeah, a really clean looking area. And there's a better look at the Jedi sort of hiding out behind this ruined pillar with this clone trooper sort of looking for him or sort of chasing him down, and they've lost sight of him, so he's sort of just getting away with it for now, but I don't think he's going to last very long down there. I kind of mentioned that destroyed tower there. This is actually part of this tower, so I think this is cool. This is how the sort of full pillars look. And then those are sort of, this one's been shattered in half or something like that. It's something we actually see in the game, so it was a cool addition to add there. Of course, then we have the two staircases on either side. These are the big main staircases, and I'm glad I went for this technique in the end. I think they look cool with the sort of support rails up the sides. And you'll see a poor Jedi has been murdered in the middle. Over onto the other side now, and you'll see these clone troopers are rushing into that room. I'll show you a bit more about that when I go over and show you the undersides in the rooms inside. You'll see Anakin is actually battling another Twi'lek Jedi. I thought that was quite a cool scene of them fighting on the stairs, so I added that in there as well. Under here we have this cloaked Jedi sort of facing off against some upcoming clones. He's managed to kill one of them, but I think they might get the better of him. There's quite a few coming in to support them. So there's a better look of the clone getting stabbed in the back there, and also the Jedi getting shot off of the balcony. I added a similar scene over here with this Jedi getting shot off. You can actually see he's actually broken the railing because he's landed on it so hard. But yeah, these clones are just destroying him and shooting him and sort of knocking him off the edge of the balcony. We also have another Jedi over here that's just been completely killed and is face down on the floor. And then next to him we also have some rubble. This is the sort of thing I tried to add a little bit into the mock to add some sort of damage. Battle damage, as well as that pillar and the big hole in the floor. I tried to add some battle damage as if the sort of ceilings are being collapsed, that sort of thing, and falling down from above. On the stairs we have a Jedi Temple Guard facing off against this clone with two little blasters there. I think that looks cool. Another scene on the stairs. Obviously I had to include some sort of fight scenes on the stairs because they look quite awesome. And then again there is that rocket clone trooper. Maybe he's targeting that Jedi at the back there next, who knows. But behind him is a little battle with a Rodian Jedi and a clone trooper, so he's got to be careful. He's got to watch his back there in case this guy manages to lose to the Rodian Jedi with two lightsabers at the back there. So that's the overview of the external areas now. Let me know what your favourite part of this external part here is, and now we'll get into the rooms and some of the cool Easter eggs, that sort of thing. First things first, you'll notice that all of these rooms actually are lit up. The same can be said for those rooms on the other side as well. The first room here is just a sort of Jedi Temple training room. You have these two Jedi facing off against each other. Maybe they don't know what's going on outside. Maybe they don't know that the clones have turned on them. They are just sort of fighting and practicing down here. And maybe they'll get a sort of nice surprise when they walk outside and face a ton of clone troopers. But yeah, this is a scene we sort of see, I think, in Rebels a bit, as well as maybe even in the Clone Wars. We have these sort of walls with all the weapons on the back there. And there's also a few statues in here, which I think came out quite well. However, this is probably my least favourite room out of all of them. Then next up we have probably the most comedic room out of the whole thing. This is the less serious room. This is actually a cantina or sort of like tapas bar sort of thing. We have a few different Easter eggs in here. We have Ahsoka just sat there eating some food. In the background there you can see we have Chopper serving up. He actually used to work in the temple, fun fact. So that's him working for the temple and serving drinks and food. No, I don't know if that's actually canon, but obviously not. But yeah, I thought that I'd add that in there at the back there. You can see I've added these lights underneath or behind these statues at the back as well, and I think that just adds a little extra detail in there. Obviously you can't see it very well, but I think it's pretty cool. Then of course you have the bartender here. He's cooking something up on the back there as well as filling up some drinks, and he's getting ready to serve this clone trooper who's come up to the bar here. This is actually my sig fig. This is Clone Trooper Kix, but obviously I've made it into my sig fig because he's my favourite clone trooper, and I think this is pretty cool. I had to add him into the mock somewhere. Then the final thing in this room, we have Jaro Tapul, which is actually the Jedi from Fallen Order, which was quite cool to include, with his 13th Battalion clone trooper just watching over him, sort of guarding him in this little tapas bar. He's just having a snack over here, obviously before he heads out on the Venator where we see him in Order 66. Obviously he wasn't actually here, but I thought it'd be cool to add him into the mock because he's a really cool minifigure that I got recently. Then of course this final room here is a very famous one. It is the youngling scene from episode 3 during Order 66 when Anakin comes in. The younglings are stood there and they say there's too many of them and they don't know what to do, and they're asking for help from Anakin, and of course he just goes ahead and slaughters them. You can see he's actually murdered this temple guard on the way in. I thought that was a cool little detail there. And you have this Mon Cala Jedi running in to help, but I don't think he's going to be any match for Anakin, so I think these younglings are pretty screwed. You can see there's an Ewok, little Barriss Offee, sort of same species as Barriss Offee there, and then a couple other Jedi as well. I thought this was quite a cool little room to add in. I had to add this into the mock in some way. So back over on the other side now, and we have another 3 rooms to go through. One slightly smaller than the others, but they're pretty cool nonetheless. But we'll start on the left here. These are kind of tied together, these first 2. We have lights in these as well, which is pretty cool. We have Jocasta Nu sort of just talking to a temple guard. I think she has just smuggled in Baby Yoda into this little ventilation shaft here. So you can see that's Baby Yoda. That is how he actually escaped from the temple. Now obviously that's not canon yet, but that's just speculation. But it's pretty cool to see him sort of sneaking his way out of the temple there. Leading over here, we have these clones storming into this sort of bedroom / meditation area, which we have some of them murdering these Jedi as well, of course. Just on a bed there, which is quite a cool design. I think this actually was from Rich Boy J. And then there's a sort of table there as well. And I think these rooms are sort of very minimalistic and sort of cool, similar to how I presume the Jedi's rooms would be. I actually modeled this one here off of like a meditation room. You have these little stools, this like lampshade here sort of thing, and then another stool or table over there as well. And there's a better view of Baby Yoda sneaking out in this sort of vent. I modelled this vent after the sort of one we saw Cad Bane sneak into the temple on, so I saw that and sort of modelled it after that. And there were there's speculation that maybe this is how Baby Yoda escaped, so I thought I'd include this in the mock. The Baby Yoda story in the mock doesn't end here, so make sure you stay tuned and I'll show you what happens to him after he gets out of the ventilation shafts. But yeah, these 3 rooms were pretty fun to add into the mock, and I think these all turned out pretty nicely. I'd really love to hear what your feedback is on the mock, and tell me what your favourite part of the mock is. Is it this curved landing platform that's at the front on the outside? Is it all of the different rooms that I've added in? Or is it this central area here? Let me know what your favourite part of the mock is. There's also a better look at the tops of the towers. Obviously I use this sort of mismatchy technique where you sort of randomise the tiles you lay down, and I think it looks pretty cool. Otherwise I wouldn't have had enough tiles to sort of finish it off in a certain pattern. So I decided to go with this as I had a lot of 2x2, 2x1 tiles, so I decided to finish this off like this, and I think I'm glad I did it like this instead of just leaving it plated. So that is it for building the Jedi Temple, guys. I hope you did enjoy the finished product. Honestly, I'm so happy with it. I cannot tell you how excited I am to finally have it done. And I'm really, really happy with the outcome. I hope you guys are as happy as I am. Let me know down in the comment section down below what you thought of the mock. Give me all your feedback that you can. What I did well, what you think I could have improved on. Everything like that. I'd love to hear it down in the comment section. I hope you guys did enjoy this little build series. I really love sort of having that video I post every single week updating you on how the mock's going. So I really enjoyed doing that, and I'm really glad I managed to do every single week bar one. I think I missed one Saturday due to being away from home. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how I managed to sort of update you guys week on week. And I hope you did enjoy every single episode. A lot of you probably wondering what is up next for me with regards to mocks. And honestly, I'm not too sure yet. I think I'm going to take a bit of a break from big mock building. I know I'll have to sort of destroy this, take it apart and everything. And I'm actually moving house in a couple of weeks. So I obviously have to sort of work out how it's going to work in my new setup, get everything set up over there, and then also work out whether I'm going back to university after lockdown ends, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of things I need to figure out, but I definitely will be building some more big mocks in the future. I've got a few different ideas for stuff I want to do. I really want to do a big Imperial base as well as some other stuff. Maybe even a big clone base as well, because I just do love clone troopers as well. So stay tuned for those. They'll be coming up on the channel over the summer. But other than that, I will definitely be doing a load of smaller mocks and other videos coming up very, very soon. I've got some decaling videos, a lighting tutorial which will be going up pretty soon as well as a few other things surrounding the temple, including a complete video breaking down the minifigures that I used in the mock. I might even do a video on the different techniques I used in the mock, so let me know if you want to see that down below. If you want to see like a top 10 techniques I used in the mock or something like that, I think that would be quite a cool video to do. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Obviously I loved it, and thank you so much to every single person who has supported me by just watching these videos, but also my members. You guys are all incredible. I thank you so much for your monthly membership fee. It really goes a long way, as well as all the people that donate on live streams. I've had some incredible donations, so thank you so much to every single person who's done that. It has really helped me finish this project off, and it definitely will help me to sort of put more money into the channel and keep improving and that sort of thing. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying how the channel is going at the moment. I really want to get bigger and better in the future. Obviously coming up on 3,000 subscribers now, which is something I never thought I would ever say, so thank you guys so much for that. The support recently has been insane. I know I had that short that went really crazy, but other than that, the support has been absolutely amazing, guys. I really do appreciate it, so thank you once again for that. But yeah, without further ado, that's the end of today's video. As always, leave a thumbs up down below and a comment telling me exactly what you thought of the mock. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.